students, I'm Aanchal Sharma, your educator. Let us discuss in this video one concept related to Unit 1 that we have in Paper 1, that is teaching aptitude. Let us talk about the levels of teaching. Now, what do we mean by teaching? That is the first question that comes to our mind. Teaching is basically the delivering of the facts, figures, or the knowledge from a more knowledgeable one to a less knowledgeable one. And it is often done in these three ways, and all of these three are called as the levels. Let us see the three levels. The three levels that are generally seen in the teaching process is the memory level, then we have the understanding level, then we have the reflective level. So first of all, we start with the memory level. This is the first level and we call it as the thoughtless level, because here what do? We do here the rote learning and the cramming of the facts. Only the facts are more important here. When it comes to the understanding level, the relationship is created between different facts and figures that are told by the teacher. This means that it is the thoughtful teaching level. When it comes to the reflective level, it becomes the upper thoughtful level where you see that the child is grown and the teacher is only a helping hand towards the student. Let us read about these levels. Now, of course, we will also be looking at the fourth level that was added later, called as the autonomous level. This autonomous level is a level where we see that the self-centered learning is done. Hence, sometimes it is also called as a negative learning. We'll be looking at this further, but when it comes to the levels of teaching, you have to remember that there are three levels only. This level, this fourth level was added way later. We'll be looking at that. So the first level that we have is the memory level. Memory level was given by Herbert. The propounders, the founders are also very important. The proponents are very important here. Herbert. It is a very teacher-centered method because teacher is more important here. The capturing and the telling of the facts and the information becomes more important because here learning and the reproduction of the knowledge is more important. Here rote learning, memorization and cramming are way more than understanding. The understanding is done at the understanding level, which was given and talked by Morrison, where we focus at the relationship between the facts. For example, the new concepts that were dealt in the memory level, at the understanding level, we try to understand them even further. Here, memory and insight are more important. So here we master the subject, not only cram, but master the subject also. Then comes the last and the most important level, that is the reflective level, given by Hunt. Hunt, suppose you are hunting for something, hunting for solutions, and you are reflecting back on the things. Like this, you can remember. Hunt gave, or you can say talked about the reflective level. He said that it is a problem solving and a critical thinking level where the child is highly thoughtful and is highly intelligent and can seek answers. So it is more of a heuristic way of learning. And who talked about heuristic learning? It is Armstrong who talked about heuristic learning. Let us look at the different levels that we have. So the first is the memory level. Memory level is the first and the thoughtless level. It is a teacher-centered method because teacher is more powerful here. It is concerned with memory and mental ability of the child. The thinking ability does not play any role, but it is basically the cramming. You need to cram the facts and the information. Here what is important? Basically rote learning is done. So it is often considered as the lowest level of teaching as well. Then comes the understanding level. The understanding level, you at this level try to perceive the meaning behind the things. You try to grasp the bigger idea about the thing. What you need to do, you try to understand the different relationship between the different principles or the facts that are told to you by the teacher in the memory level. So this means memory level is way important so that the understanding level can actually be built on it. In the field of education and psychology, the meaning of understanding can be where you see the total use of the facts, the relationship, and also you generalize those concepts. You understand it in a broader perspective. So it is way more thoughtful and useful. Here we understand the relationship. This word is very important. The relationship between principles and the facts, and the teacher tries to teach the principles. This means that it is not only a teacher-centered domain or a level, but it is a level where both teacher and a child are important. Lastly, we have the reflective level. Reflective level is often termed as the highest level, and it is the most thoughtful level. Here you do problem solving, and here you raise the problems and you find solutions about it on your own. So the teacher is going to help you, and the teacher is of course will say that now you are an educated person and you can seek answers on your own. You will find different questions and seek answer towards it. That's the reflective level. Hunt gave this level. So the first level is the memory level, then the understanding, then the reflective level. But there is one more person that you need to remember, and you need to remember the name also. That is Maurice L. Biggie. Maurice L. Biggie in 1976 added one more level to the rubric, and this is termed as the autonomous development. So it's not even a level, it is a development that happens. Sometimes this development happens. It is called as the autonomous development. The four levels, or the fourth development that we have is what? It is a more student-centered approach. It is little or no leadership that is seen here. It is very direction-oriented, imposition of the student thought or behavior to promote self-feelings. Self-feelings become way more important. There is a development of a feeling of autonomy inside the person, that I can solve things on my own. Autonomy means I am capable of doing things on my own with little or no scope for the teacher to intervene. There is no scope for the teacher to come here and intervene. Hence, this is sometimes called as a negative education also. So what is the role of a teacher? That is to educate you, to come to you and to tell you what is right and wrong. But if you only think that your development is important and you can, go forward and do things on your own, this means you are student-centered, you seek no leadership, and you say that self is more important. You say that what is important? Self becomes way more important. Self-feelings are promoted. Then you are at this level of development that is called as the autonomous level of development, where autonomy is there, feeling of autonomy, no intervention of teacher, hence it is called as negative education. So when it comes to the three levels of teaching, so when it comes to the autonomous, let us discuss these three things also. Learners' ability to control over their own learning is seen when we talk about the autonomous development. It is desired for in-depth learning, and intrinsic motivation is needed. When we are talking here also about the autonomous development, we see that there is a lot of intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is that you are highly motivated and you're doing things on your own. You need no teacher to come forward and say you need to do these things. If the teacher is pushing you to do something, it becomes extrinsic motivation. If you are highly motivated to do things on your own, which is seen on the, in this autonomous development, you are an intrinsic motivated person. Now let us revise these three levels. So as I was telling you, there are three levels only. This is the autonomous development that Biggie added. So the three levels, if they ever ask you, is the memory level, where cramming and rote learning are more important. Understanding level ke andar, what do we talk about? We talk about the relationships that we have. And what is reflective? Reflective is finding things. That's reflective. Okay. And when it comes to the autonomous development, auto means self. Here, self is very important. So these are the levels, and this is called as the learning continuum when it comes to the teaching process. So I hope you understood the lesson and you understood the various concepts. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you.